What if there was just one simple rule about coffee that could literally help protect your brain for the rest of your life? Well, today we're going to break down this powerful guideline from an Oxford neuroscientist that might just change how you think about your daily cup forever. Okay, let's get into it. So this is it. This is the rule. It's not about how much coffee you drink, but when you stop. And it is so specific. 1:15 p.m., not 1 o'clock, not 1:30. So why this exact time? What does a leading brain expert know that most of us don't?
All right, so who is the expert behind this incredibly strict cutoff time, and why is her advice making such waves?
Yeah, so Dr. Begeti isn't just some wellness influencer. She's a real-deal neuroscientist at Oxford with a PhD focused on brain repair and neurodegenerative diseases. Her entire job is to take all this complicated lab research and boil it down into simple habits that we can actually use in our daily lives. So this rule, it's not a guess, it's based on hard science.
But hang on, before we get to why the timing is so critical, let's just quickly cover why coffee is even considered a brain booster in the first place, because the evidence for it is, pretty compelling.
Check this out. 18%. A massive long-term study found that people who drink about 2 to 3 cups of caffeinated coffee every day have an 18% lower risk of developing dementia. I mean, that is a huge number for such a simple daily habit.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. When you look at the comparison, look at decaf coffee. Zero benefit. A big goose egg. Tea shows some benefit, sure, but it's less than caffeinated coffee. This points the finger directly at caffeine itself as the key protective ingredient doing all the heavy lifting here. So how does it do it? Well, caffeine is basically waging a multi-front war against brain aging. It's like a shield. It physically gets in there and blocks the molecules that make you feel tired. It boosts the chemicals that make you feel sharp and alert, and it's packed with antioxidants that fight off the daily cellular damage that can lead to disease. It's a powerhouse.
And this brings us right back to that 1:15 p.m. rule. If coffee is so good for us, why in the world should we stop drinking it? Well, this is where the timing becomes even more important than the total amount you drink.
Okay, to understand the cutoff, you have to understand this concept called half-life. All it means is the time it takes for your body to get rid of just half of the caffeine from a single cup of coffee. And the average is 5 to 6 hours. It lingers in your system for way longer than you actually feel that buzz. And this just illustrates the whole chain reaction perfectly. Let's say you have a coffee at 3 p.m. By 9 p.m., half of that caffeine is still circulating in your system, actively blocking your sleep signals. And here's the real kicker. Even if you do manage to fall asleep, studies show it slashes your deep sleep, which is the most restorative phase of sleep, sabotaging your brain's most important work.
You see, during that deep sleep, your brain activates something called the glymphatic system. The best way to think of it is like a nightly cleaning crew that comes in and power washes all the toxic junk out from between your brain cells. And one of those toxins is called amyloid beta, the exact protein that forms those plaques in Alzheimer's disease. Late-day caffeine basically tells that cleaning crew to take the night off, which lets all that toxic junk build up night after night.
Okay, so now we have the what and the why. So let's get practical. Let's see how all of this builds into an actual evidence-based plan for your daily coffee habit. This timeline really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? You feel those peak effects within the first hour for sure, but it takes a full 10 to 12 hours for your system to clear most of it out. And that's why a 1 p.m. coffee is just about gone by an 11 p.m. bedtime, but a 3 p.m. coffee is still very much active.
This table maps out the whole cost-benefit analysis perfectly. The sweet spot is crystal clear. 2 to 3 cups drunk early in the day gets you that maximum 18% risk reduction with minimal sleep impact. But if you go beyond that, the benefits totally plateau while the sleep disruption just skyrockets.
So you're essentially making a choice every single afternoon. Are you using coffee as a strategic tool for focus and long-term health? That's the sweet spot. Or are you pushing into the risk zone, where it becomes a crutch that actually harms your brain's recovery process by spiking stress hormones and destroying your sleep? And finally, it is so crucial to remember that this rule, as powerful as it is, it doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? It's one piece of a much larger brain health puzzle. To get the absolute most out of your coffee habit, you can stack it with other proven strategies. Pair it with brain-healthy foods like the Mediterranean diet. Take a short 10-minute walk right after you drink it to really boost the cognitive effects. Stay hydrated, and if you can, share that coffee ritual with another person. Each of these habits compounds the benefits.
So really, what you should take away from all this is that one simple question. We often think about what we do for our health, but this is a perfect example of how when we do something is just as important. Your daily coffee can be one of the best things you do for your brain, but only if you respect its power and its timing.